This is KGW News at noon.
With respect to the noises specifically, we don't know what they are, to be frank with you. The good news is, what I can tell you is we're searching in the area where the noises were detected, and we'll continue to do so.
The Coast Guard just gave an update about the search for that missing submersible in the Atlantic Ocean. Crews are now focused on the area where a Canadian aircraft heard noises yesterday and then again today. Thank you for joining us. I'm Brenda Braxton. The Coast Guard is bringing in more ships and other vessels to help now that the search has been narrowed down. 5 people are aboard the Titan sub. It was heading to the wreckage of the Titanic before it lost contact. The Coast Guard said they have limited rations of food and water, although it's not clear how much. The oxygen supply is also about to run out. The Today Show spoke with a former passenger who knows several of the missing people.
Obviously, our focus is just on just hoping for this Hollywood ending to happen, and we know the Coast Guard and everybody else is working so hard. So this is, and the Ocean Gate crew is working as hard as they can to possibly find this if anything is out there. So it's obviously exciting news. It's promising, but there's work to be done, and that's what the focus is.
Those who expressed optimism warned that even if they can locate that submersible, it will be very difficult to bring it back to the surface. The Legacy Mount Hood Birth Center in Gresham is back open. Legacy Health shut it down back in March. Administrators blamed a staff shortage and fewer babies being born there. But Oregon officials say Legacy closed the center without state approval. Legacy says the birth center will now be staffed around the clock. Repair work on Spirit Lake Highway could start this month after a landslide washed it out. That happened back in May, stranding several people and 7 cars at the Johnston Ridge Observatory near Mount St. Helens. WashDOT says crews will start clearing debris and building a temporary 1-lane road. All the work should be done by early August, and it can't happen soon enough for the 2 drivers we spoke with. They've been without their cars now since the landslide.
Having my car back, especially because I also do DoorDash, Uber Eats, so it's part of my job, let alone the photography that I'm trying to do, it is monumental to have my car back throughout all that.
When it's all said and done, it will have just been a minor inconvenience. It's really not a big deal in the scheme of things, but it is kind of at that point where it's like, oh, I would have loved to have done this, but I can't because I don't have the car. So
the temporary road won't be open to the public. It'll only be used to clear debris and get those cars back. Still no word when Spirit Lake Highway will be completely repaired. Well, summer officially started this morning at 7:57. Here's how things look around the state this noon from hood to coast. Yeah, a little cloud at the summit there of Mount Hood, but otherwise blue sky. And Rod, your forecast is warming up just in time.
Yeah, we saw the calendar, summer, so we lifted the temperatures. We brought on the sunshine. What a beautiful day. Temperatures pretty much right on track for what you would say are normal for this first day of summer. Brenda showed you the clear skies we have inland, all areas except for getting up in the high country of the Cascades. We're at 66 degrees. I thought we'd be 65, so we're right there on track to get well into the 70s. Remember, we've not been out of the 60s for all of a sudden, I think 4 days in a row we haven't done it. So you're going to notice it feeling warmer and certainly brighter than what we've had as of late. We do have some 70s on the board at noon. Tigert's doing it. Sherwood is at 73 degrees. Salem, Kaiser, McMinnville can be all at 70. There could be an 80-degree temperature to be found this afternoon. That would be the absolute limit, it looks like, of what this air mass will support. I've got Portland getting up to 77. Maybe it's 78, 79, still in the 70s at 8 o'clock. Now, coming up, it is the first day of summer, so we'll talk about what to expect in terms of hot weather or not in the months ahead. That's straight ahead, Brenda.
All right, thank you so much, Rod. Authorities have identified 2 women killed near a music festival in the Gorge Amphitheater last weekend. Jocelyn Ruiz and Brandy Escamilla were from Seattle and engaged to be married. Ruiz's family shared these photos of her. The 2 women were in a campground near the Beyond Wonderland Music Festival. A family lawyer says the couple did not know the accused gunman. Meanwhile, our sister station in Seattle spoke to a man from Eugene who was shot in the shoulder.
A guy popped behind a tent and points his gun at me. He shoots me once, and then the moment he shot me, survival instincts kicked in, and I jumped behind one of my friend's tents. And then I ran, and he chased me and was shooting at me. And as he was shooting at me, there's bullets whizzing by me.
The Grant County Sheriff's Office identified the suspected shooter as 26-year-old James Kelly. He was an active duty Army member stationed at Joint Base Lewis McChord. Kelly was hospitalized after deputies shot him. This noon he's in jail, but he has not been formally charged. No word yet on a possible motive for the shooting spree. A mother is pleading for people to come forward after her son, Dominic Sawyer, became Portland's latest homicide victim. Catherine Cook talked to her about the life and 3 children left behind.
He was a dad. He was a good kid.
It's been 10 days since police say 29-year-old Dominic Sawyer was murdered. It happened just before 2 a.m. on Saturday, June 10th, at Southwest 3rd and Harvey Milk. 2 other victims survived. Dominic's mother, Cherish, says her son was sitting in his car when it happened. She's desperate for answers and wants police to find his killer.
You know, somebody saw the shooter. Somebody did. I want to see the person that killed my son and look them in the eyes and let them know what they took from hundreds of people.
That includes the 3 young children Dominic left behind. Cherish asked that we not show her face. She just picked up her son's ashes and cradled them in her lap as she talked with us and shared these photos.
One thing about my son, whether you knew him a minute or you knew him his whole 29 years, there's something you will always remember about him. He loved to love. And that was his purpose in life, was to love people and make them laugh.
Dominic's death marks the latest in a growing list of homicides in Portland this year, now up to 37. As investigators navigate urban and suburban landscapes rife with violent crime, Cherish says the pain she feels spills over for future victims. She wants it all to end.
Somebody needs to do something to change it, or there's going to be more Dominics sitting in their car and dead.
Catherine Cook, KGW News.
We have new information about the murders of 4 University of Idaho students last year. Investigators say DNA now links the accused killer, 28-year-old Brian Kohberger, to the crime scene. In recently released court documents, prosecutors say a cheek swab from Kohberger is a statistical match to DNA found on a knife sheath in the student's home. Back in mid-November, the 4 were found stabbed to death near campus in Moscow. A grand jury indicted Kohberger. His trial is set to begin in October. Oregon State Police are looking for the vandals who damaged the Heceta Head Lighthouse in Florence. That historic landmark on the Oregon coast started operating back in 1864. Last Thursday, 4 people were caught on camera at the lighthouse. 2 of them broke a window and tried to get inside. They also spray painted signs and one of the buildings. The damage may total as much as $20,000. In Southeast Portland next month, the first of 5 city-sanctioned mass homeless camps is set to open. The site is located in the Clinton Triangle. It'll house up to 150 people. Neighborhood groups have been meeting with the city to create a good neighbor agreement. It'll be finalized once the site opens in early July. Many neighbors have concerns about the potential for vandalism and crime. They also say they worry about the well-being of the homeless people who live there.
We are really aware that we're on the tip of the spear with this. We are going to be setting a precedent for how these agreements are put together.
That was the chair of the Brooklyn Action Corps, a neighborhood association. He says he hopes to set an example for future sites and how they can fit into the surrounding neighborhoods. Well, 2 Portland Thorns players will be representing Team USA at the World Cup this summer. The 23-woman roster was just announced this morning. Crystal Dunn is making her 2nd World Cup appearance for Team USA. She was on the roster in 2019 when the women won it all. Sophia Smith is making her first World Cup team. She was named the 2022 U.S. Soccer Female Player of the Year. The U.S. will open against Vietnam on July 21st. This year's World Cup is in Australia and New Zealand.